Hi there, vinyl community. My name's Tom. You're watching High Rant District. If you can hear what's going on in the background, I'm listening to Extenza, which came out in 2023. It's the name of the band and it's the title of the album. This came out on primarily on CD and digital, I think. This vinyl version is on Don't Sit on My Vinyl. That's the record label. It's an imprint of Gustav Records in Poland. Gustav is a record label focused solely on Polish music. You know, it's heavy math rock. It's something I dig. Anyway, and when they put out a vinyl version of a record, they don't press records. These are lathe cut, so they make the records one at a time. And when they create a vinyl record, it's an edition of 66. They just make 66 of total copies on vinyl, as it were, that of the music that they put out. Anyway, getting on to the topic of today's video is I was going through my record collection yesterday, you know, doing what one does, which is, you know, just like pulling things out, you know, seeing what can go. And, you know, I just want to keep everything lean and mean and always make sure that, you know, what's in my collection is something that I'm always going to be happy to listen to. So I came across, as I'm going through them, my records, came across, you know, the rare duplicate of a record I have. I usually just have one copy of a record, unless there's like a UK cut and a US cut with different track listing. That's, you know, that's having two of those, like one of each of those, is not having the same two copies of the record, in my opinion. Anyway, so I came upon, you know, I see that I have two copies of Typo Negative's Slow, Deep, and Hard. The original on Road Racer Records from 1991. And then there's the anniversary edition. Came out in 2021 from Gotta Groove Records, which I believe is a division of Rhino/Warner. And the Gotta Groove one is gatefold. It's on green vinyl. That's the Gotta Groove version. The original, like I mentioned, on Road Racer Records from 1991. So, like I said, I don't typically have multiple copies of a record. You know, I just keep what I want to listen to. And so I decided to just, you know, spin both of them last night. You know, of course, the physics of the thing is that you would expect the Gotta Groove version to sound better. And I would say it does sound, you know, a little bit better. It's a, you know, the original version is close to an hour long, and it's a single LP. The first side it's right around 29 minutes long, which is a lot of music to put on one record. So it's, you know, cut kind of quiet. Have to crank the volume a bit, you know, to get it to sound, you know, to get it to a level that you want to listen to it at. And then when you put on the Gotta Groove version, which is spread over two records, you got to turn it down. You know, turn the volume knob down to have the right volume. So it's not a situation where the Gotta Groove version is 45 RPM. It's still 33 RPM, just like the original. It's just on two different records, you know, two different slabs of wax, so that there's more room, you know, for the music to breathe, as it were. And so, like, remember, you know, this, you know, Slow, Deep, and Hard came out in '91. When music was really being, when albums were really being put together for the CD format, which could hold a lot of music. So you had longer albums, as it were, but so when the wax version or the vinyl version comes out of a lot of records in the 90s, they don't tend to sound as good because you've got quite often a lot of music being crammed onto a single disc. So now this gets into a bit of a audiophilia thing, and I don't consider myself an audiophile. I know when a record sounds wrong, but I don't sit and pick apart music. So like I didn't go like back and forth between the two different versions of the album when I was listening to it. I just played all of the original and then all of the reissue. And then again all the original and all the reissue again, 2 times. So I'm not sitting there picking things apart. You know, I'm not one to pick apart sounds, like what does the decay of a cymbal strike sound like, and like, you know, is there air between the instruments? You know, the music I listen to is kind of wall of sound. There's not really air between instruments. So anyway, without really paying close attention to like, and not obviously not going back and forth between the 2 albums, you know, like quickly to try to compare things. Yeah, I'd say the Run Out Groove one sounds a little bit better. But, you know, I kind of, grew up is the wrong word because I was old enough when the album first came out. But I'm used to the way the original sounds. So, you know, it's kind of like, which one do I keep? You know, and my hard lean is generally towards the original of something. And I was like, well, you know, the Gotta Groove one does sound kind of a little bit better. And then I'm like, looking through the notes on the Gotta Groove one, you know, checking out the inside notes, you know, and something was missing to me. Because I was looking at the, you know, on the original, where is it? If we look at the original inner sleeve, here on the bottom, additional musicians, the Bensonhoist Lesbian Choir. And that's a real credit. That's actually real people. And I was looking on the Gotta Groove version, and I didn't see that credit anywhere. What in the world? So like I'm scouring it. Like the Gotta Groove version doesn't come with, you know, printed inner sleeves. It's just like a black polyline inner sleeve. And there's like a little folded poster in there. So there's no credit on there. There's no credit on the gatefold for the Bensonhoist Lesbian Choir. And Bensonhoist is Bensonhurst, you know, part of Brooklyn. But it's, you know, it's a juvenile album, and, you know, that kind of fits me. You know, but, so the Bensonhoist Lesbian Choir is a real thing. It's just kind of the generic name the band, or Peter Steele specifically, you know, assigned to like his friends that would be in the music studio whenever they were recording, because he would actually have friends of his like provide some sort of backing vocals on different albums. You know, he also saw the same credit on Bloody Kisses, which I have an original of, the album that came out 2 years later. But so I'm looking at the Gotta Groove version. It doesn't have the Bensonhoist Lesbian Choir as a credit, and I know I'm going off on a little bit of a tangent here, but there's when a lot of record reissues have come out, and I don't know that Gotta Groove is calling themselves audiophile, but there's a lot of sterilization that goes on, in my opinion, with reissues of records, particularly audiophile, but again, not painting Gotta Groove as audiophile, although this record does sound better than the original. You know, generally reissues sound too clean, they're kind of dumbed down, and by dumbed down I meant that, you know, they're presented in the exact same manner as other bands, sonically, as far as levels for vocals, drums, guitars, and the placement of things, because everything needs to be kind of uniform. Now, we really didn't run into that, because that is a big complaint I have about so-called audiophile albums as they're marketed. But stripping out an actual credit and not putting it anywhere on the reissue, the Bensonhoist Lesbian Choir, just reeks to me of political correctness. So, the record I'm going to get rid of is the Gotta Groove version. And in a nutshell, that's how the Bensonhoist Lesbian Choir has helped shape my record collection. That's all. Thanks for watching. Catch you later. And shout out to President Joe Biden. I think he did the right thing today by wishing the very best for Vice President Trump.